try to get our voice going, because this is just ridiculous. I'm not willing to accept this anymore. It's a reality. I'm not going to wake up.
Tom's not going to accept this anymore. He's going to go ahead and defraud him for himself. He's going to accept money to pitch FTX, which promotes all the shit coins, including Bitcoin. You see that? And he's going to promote his bullshit scams. He's going to lie about who he is, lie about his credentials, complete fraudster. Tom deserves something really bad to happen to him. He deserves that. He really deserves something really bad. This is a completely disgusting, negative morality, not zero, negative morality person. Money worshiping parasite. That's what this guy is. He worships money so much. He will lie to your face. He will, like he's doing here, he will actually call out criminals. And he does the same thing. He pretends that he's not doing the same thing. Can you believe this?
I'm going to do something about it, and I hope you too. Peace.
You hear that? He's going to do something about it. He hopes you do too. Right? Can you believe this? He's going to do something about it, and he hopes you do too. Let's go ahead and take a look. And by the way, I've got here Tom's latest video, I'm sorry, his oldest videos. I want you to see evidence that he's continuously removing old videos. He's gradually removing his trail. So now the last video he has is this one. You see that? So he's gradually deleting what he said in the past. You see that? And you'll see him do more and more over time. It's a fraud. Buy these stocks in 2024 and never work again. Now, let me just kind of remind everybody who I am. And, you know, if you want to be devil's advocate, if you want to be a Tom shill, that's okay. So I'll just go ahead and state something that's irrefutable so that you can't claim, oh, well, he says this, so therefore his argument is invalid. I won't claim to be the top analyst in the world because it's difficult to prove that. It's obviously difficult to prove that. But clearly, it's irrefutable. I'm one of the top analysts in the world, one of the top investment. And when I say top, one of the top, I'm talking about a handful. That's fact. No one in the world can refute that. If you think you can, put your money where your fucking mouth is or shut your fucking mouth. Because anybody can say anything. But guess what? If you're going to back it by money, you're going to be more careful about it. You're not going to just whim something out there. If you're willing to put your money, let's go. Let's fucking go. Minimum 50 grand. Minimum. For all you broke kids out. You can get your little cult. They can all add $1,000. Let's go. You're going to pay for the all the expenses, and we'll go. In fact, I'll do a 50 grand. You pay all the expenses. The consulting group that's going to determine. Okay, and I'll give you 2-to-1 odds. I'll give you the chance to make 100,000 by fronting 50,000. Okay, so I'm one of the top analysts in the world. Imagine that. I'm the guy that was recommending NVIDIA to my customers on Wall Street back in 2001, maybe even in 2000, I can't remember. And then when I started my firm, the first publication, and I have put as the #1 stock for long-term growth since 2009, when the market cap was maybe 8 billion or so. Okay. And any of these videos you've seen that I've posted, King of NVIDIA, you could have made, 35,000% or whatever. That's not even valid anymore because the stock split. My cost basis on NVIDIA now is like 20 some cents. Okay? Even myself, who has a verified published track record, the only person in the world for more than 15 years has come out and named NVIDIA as the number one stock for long-term growth. Now, I'm not going to say that going forward, but all this time, all these years, that was my number one stock for long-term growth. Obviously, it's not going to be on my list, my future lists, right? Because it's too large now, right? Nobody else in the world did that. Yet, do I come out and tell you that you can buy NVIDIA stock and never work again? No. Only a fraud is going to do that. Only a complete scam artist fraud who wants to lure in greedy, stupid, desperate, naive, broke people. Only a person like that is going to do that. You understand? No legitimate person is ever going to do that. Look, didn't he say the stock market apocalypse just started? Didn't he say that already 2 months ago? Let's take a look. Clickbait Tom. Yeah, look. According to Tom, 4 months ago, the stock market crash just started. Better get scared. You see that? I mean, he'll remove these videos. He'll change it. First, what he'll do is he'll change the title, the headline. He'll edit stuff out, and then he'll remove it. You understand? Complete fraud. Absolute fraud. And so what he's doing now, look at this. Buy this stock in 2024 and get rich. Here he goes. He's got another one of these stocks. Remember he had the $4, turned $4 into $277,000. Now he's got turned $200 into $1 million by doing nothing. Clickbait horseshit. Okay? Folks, only a scam artist is going to put out these fucking clickbait horseshit. And remember, I could put out this stuff. I'm credible enough to do this stuff. I would never do that. Why? It's dishonest, it's misleading, and it's just fraud. That's what it is. But what Tom's been doing more recently, he's been going towards Tom Lee, the other fucking clown. This is a guy, a complete fucking stock pumper. Tom Lee, oh, this is going up. Oh, this is going. Hey, Tom, it's easy to pump stocks in a bull market. That's not a real analyst. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a fucking clown. Same thing with Dan Ives. Let's take a look, by the way. Let's take a look at ARK. This is a kind of a worrisome sign. If you're worried about the market, this is a kind of a confirmatory signal to some degree. It's not too out of control, but and remember, Cathie Wood, she kind of does like it's kind of like a Jeremy Lefebvre scam. You know, this Jeremy Financial Education. What he does is he shows you these stocks. He'll show you like big name stocks, Google and Amazon and Tesla, and he'll show you he's up like 1,000,000%. Now, does he show you real evidence of that? I can guarantee you his what he's showing you is a lie. He's lying. He's defrauding people. He shows people that, oh, look, wow, he's making a lot of money. And then he pumps garbage stocks. You understand? Why does he do that, though? Because it's the only stocks he can find. He knows that he can just say, well, I bought it 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 20 years, and I never sold them. Yet he's constantly buying and selling stocks. You understand? That Jeremy guy's a complete fucking fraud. Obvious fraud, liar, scam. Folks, they all have their little MO. They're all scammers and fraudsters. None of them are better than any others. They're all horseshit liars and scammers. They're all, and not a single one of them, oh, well, he knows more than him, he's better. No, they're not. If you think that approach, you're an idiot. Okay, you're a fucking idiot. Let's take a look now. Cathie Woods, let's see, last 5 years. Past 5 years, you're not doing a whole lot. Just recently, maybe like you bought it here early 2020, just right where it was. See that? You can see recently it's popped up a little bit. It's going to look a little bit of a worrisome sign, but take a look, folks. Most people that were buying Cathie Wood stocks, I can tell you right now, they were buying around here. That's where they were buying, at the peak. How do I know that? Because that's what always happens when you have a bubble that collapses. And of course, all bubbles pop. They all collapse. What happens is you get most of the buying at the top. Okay? That's what happens. You get most of the buying at the top. That's the way it works. Whether it's with gold or anything. Okay? Complete failure. Complete loser. Now understand, if you want to gauge this ARC innovation, and I had some guy told me, a few months ago, oh, you should look at her ARC something. It's up 200%. I mean, folks, most of you probably are too ignorant. And of course, ignorant is not as bad as stupid. Ignorant just means you don't know. You're too ignorant. Like, all you got to do, if you want to help yourself, is understand my credibility, that I'm the big swinging dick out there. I am the number one big swinging dick out there in the world in terms of top guys exposing fraudsters, scammers. No one else in the world doing that. You know why? Because all they care about is themselves and making money for themselves. And many of them are fucking scammers as well, defrauding people in many ways, depending upon who you're talking about. All you got to do is be familiar with me, intimately familiar with my credibility and track record. And then all you got to do is just listen to what I say. If I say they're a scammer, they're a scammer. If I say you're being fooled by Cathie Wood, you're being fooled by Cathie Wood. I don't have the time or the patience to go through and explain to every single fucking ignorant fool out there why they don't know what they're talking about. I can't educate you this way. We don't have enough years in our lives to do that. I can't do that. And I'm not going to do that. If you want to be stupid and think that you know, go ahead and do that. I'm just telling you the facts. Cathie Wood is a con artist, an investment disaster, and a scammer. She does what this Jeremy guy does. And Jeremy doesn't even do what she does. Jeremy doesn't have long-term holdings of Google of 10, 15 years and all these other big-name stocks. He does that to show people, oh, well, he's a liar and a fraud. You can write it down. All these guys on YouTube are liars and frauds. They make claims. Why not lie if you're a scammer? Who's going to hold you to prove that it's not a lie? You understand? Think about it. They're able to lie and defraud people, and no authority out there, and I'm talking authority in terms of legal authority, is going to say, oh, you need to prove this or you're lying. Show us the proof. That's not going to happen until hundreds of people call the FTC. But of course, the people on YouTube are too stupid to realize that this Jeremy and all these other people that are frauding people, so they're not going to call in and complain. So what ends up happening? Well, what ends up happening is when you have people that are defrauding like that, and you have someone like me who exposes them, they're going to try and shut me up. They're going to try and sue me. So it's a perfect world for scammers because they're protected. They make a lot of money through scamming people, and then they'll try and shut people up through trying to sue them. But the regulators never go after these guys until they get enough complaints. So it's a perfect scam. It's perfect. It's a perfect operation, scam operation. Now, unfortunately for these scammers, what they don't realize is that you better not be lying, because what's going to happen, you come after me, we're going to go through the discovery process. You see, and once we go through discovery, we're going to prove that you're lying. And then we're going to have the evidence to take to the FTC and shut you down. You see? I mentioned that, in fact, recently about Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is suing John Ledger for rightfully calling him a scammer and a con man. Grant Cardone is clearly scamming people and conning people, making false claims. You see, and he fucked up because John Ledger now gets to go through discovery. He gets access to Grant Cardone's all his scammy marketing bullshit. So you understand. So what John Ledger potentially can do now, once he gets discovery and gets access to all his bullshit, is he'll have a case to take to the FTC. So the worst thing a scammer can do actually is fuck with somebody who has the money and means to go after your ass. And I'd say John Ledger has both. So what you got with Tom Nash now these days, he's pumping Tom Lee. He's pumping Dan Ives. Dan Ives is a fucking idiot, by the way. You know that, right? Weed Bush was not even a legitimate firm. They're a fucking boiler room, okay? You got to understand something, folks. Dan Ives and Tom Lee, where do you know about these fucking clowns? You know about them from CNBC. Why? Because I've said this before. You're not going to typically get, and Wall Street's a different category. I mean, is Wall Street research legitimate? In my opinion, no. But that's me. You guys can't say that because you don't know more than they do. You understand? You all don't know what's going on. I can criticize Wall Street research because I'm a professional analyst and I know that they're a fucking joke. However, I'm able to decipher what's valid from Wall Street and what's not. That's why I can say that. You guys aren't, you're not going to know what your head from tails on Wall Street. You're not going to know what's going on. Okay. Here's my point. If you have a legitimate Wall Street analyst or economist or strategist that comes out there, and I'm talking legitimate from a major firm, okay? And there's not a whole lot of those firms left anymore, right? Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, right? Notice they don't come onto CNBC too often. They make the rounds every once in a while. Every once in a while. Between the times that they come on, who is CNBC airing? They're airing the broken clock contrarian indicator fucking scammers. And, you notice that just about every single one of them, they're all related. They're related. Coincidence? Just about all of them. The exceptions typically are their businesses are run by people who are related. Okay? So what you have in between is you got the broken clock guys, the clowns, the Harry Dents and Peter Schiffs and Jim Rogers out there, and the Jeffrey Gunlocks, okay? I've exposed all these guys for years. They're fucking clowns. Do the opposite. That's how you make money with these guys. And more, you got the Dan Ives and the Tom Lees, okay? These guys, they'll be on CNBC every fucking day. Why? Because that's what they're doing. They're there to promote themselves and their firm. You understand that, right? So let's take a look, by the way, before we move on. Let's take a look at Tom Nash because he blocked me on his Patreon. So let's take a look. You see that? I can't view this on my account because he doesn't want me to see. This is in Hong Kong dollars here. This is like $20, $30, $50, $60, right? This is the old scarcity scam, by the way. The scarcity scam. Notice a lot of these guys, they'll put the last one sold out. Oh, it's sold out. I wanted it. Oh, but I want it now because it's sold out. And at some point, they'll open it up. It's open. Get your chance. Okay. And so they say, well, it's sold out. Okay, well, gosh, they must like it. They must, must be a high demand. Okay, I'll get the other one. You got it? This is how these fraudsters work. So let's read this here. It's only $20, folks. It can be free. Ask yourself how much money you're going to lose listening to this fucking clown. Now, some of these fucking sheep out there, oh, I made money. Okay. Tell me you're making money listening to Tom Nash ever since Tom Nash has been promoting stocks on YouTube. You began a month ago. You began this year. Guess what? The market's up 25% this year. You understand what I'm saying, folks? So you get access to his private community Discord server. So I've mentioned, folks, anybody running a Discord, they're trying to run a cult. They want you in the Discord so they can sequester you, right? Brainwash you. It's private. Why is it private? Because they don't want any dissenters there. They don't want anybody to expose these fucking clowns. You expose them, you're going to get kicked out. And nobody will know you got kicked out. Same way the Facebook private groups work. The Discord is a way to create and foster, build cults. And most of the cults, you're talking scammers. Just about all of them, basically. He wants to show you his dollar cost average strategy tutorials. I mean, dollar cost average strategy? What is that? There's no strategy for dollar cost averaging. What are you talking about? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait, where's your discounted cash flow, Tom? Did you stop doing that? Because I'd expose it as a fraud? Dollar cost average strategy? Folks, let me tell you something right now. Go ahead, dollar cost average all the stocks that go down and see where that ends you. You're going to end up fucking bankrupt. There's no dollar cost averaging strategy. That's fucking nonsense, folks. That's a scam in and of itself, okay? Dollar cost average strategy? What are you talking about? What you want to know, if you want to be able to analyze a company and know if it's a good stock long term, and when it gets into trouble, what's going on? Tom can't do that. Tom's a fraud. He is not a professional investment analyst. He's a fraud. No one on YouTube can do that.
Go and find somebody who's ever worked in the financial industry, an analyst, somebody who worked in the trading floor, anybody with actual trading or investing experience, anybody from Wall Street that you can get a hold of, and ask them, how do you know that somebody's a clown, a buffoon, and is a fake? If they mention PE, this is exactly what it is. If somebody mentions to you PE, that means they've never worked a day in their life on Wall Street or in any sort of investment capacity, because nobody is using PEs in the industry, literally nobody. And if you hear somebody talk about PEs, that's like an immediate kind of giveaway. You know that they're just, bullshitting. They're not from the industry. It's an irrelevant metric, and you can ask any investment professional, they'll tell you that. The only people who talk about PEs are little boys on the internet who pretend to be value investors. That's how you know they're fucking fake. Simple as that. Just check me on this. The only metric that people in the industry actually use as far as multiples is price to sales. Nobody uses PE. Trust me, it's just nonsense.
If they're pitching stocks and they're pretending to, that's what they're doing, pretending to analyze stocks, companies. They're pretending, folks. That's all they're doing. Show me one person who's pitching stocks on ScamTube who is legitimate analyst. Legitimate. And I'm talking legitimate, credible analyst. I've already shown you how Mr. Coffin, Plain Bagel, ain't no legitimate analyst. Another scammer who built this channel through deception. He came out, real analyst, all his clickbait, real analyst. No, you're not an analyst, dude. Your job description is not of an analyst. Show me your analyst licenses. You understand, folks? Just like Patrick Boyle comes out and tells everyone he's a hedge fund manager. No, you're an ex-hedge fund manager. You failed. You understand, folks? This is fraud. They're deceiving people in order to make money. That's fraud. Fraud through deception. That is fraud. Just like CoffeeZilla, the fake guru detective, right? The fake guru detective doesn't expose anything. Let's go ahead. Let's just kind of shift gears here. Let's take a look and see what CoffeeZilla is up to now. Let's take a look. Keep this in mind. And if you don't know this, I suggest you fucking spend the time to look into it. Easily one of the top investment analysts in the world. I'm probably the best. It's difficult to prove I'm the best, right? But easily one of the best. Ask yourself, somebody in my status, my stature, my realm, who else is going to go out and expose these fucking little minions fraudsters? Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that? Nobody. Nobody else.
terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe, if I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. Their earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.